We have certain things in common, and one of them is that we can feel pressure. And sometimes, as human beings, we find ourselves in situations where the heat is so much that we just want to get out of it. And I found myself in that situation, and it has almost led to depression, anxiety, different forms of challenges. And one of the best ways to remove yourself from that pressure, from that heat, is by this video did not find you by mistake. And I'm not saying this as a form of a hook. I'm saying this because as different as we are, you might be older or younger than this 22-year-old boy speaking. We have certain things in common, and one of them is that we can feel pressure. And the difference is how we react to that pressure. I'll give you an example. If you put a kettle on gas or electric stove, as long as that kettle remains there, whether there's water inside or not, the pressure is going to get more. One of the best ways to remove yourself from that pressure, from that heat, is by, and sometimes as human beings, we find ourselves in situations where the heat is so much that we just want to get out of it. And I know that there are people like that who are listening right now who are feeling this form of pressure, either externally or within, and they just want to remove themselves from that pressure in any way. And most times we can't remove ourselves from there. So I would recommend this, because taking a walk, switching off your phone, switching off your data, read a book, listen to a song, listen to a podcast, talk to a friend. What has helped me personally is switching off my phone. Right now, my phone is not switched off, but my data is switched off. And each time I switch my data off, I try to listen to a podcast, I try to read a book, I try to think, just sit down and reflect. And that helps me remove myself from different pressures that this world offers to us. Then the next step after removing yourself from the source of that heat would be to then find the root of the source. And just like the kettle that is put on the gas, the root of the source of the heat would be the gas cylinder. Just like a kettle that is put on a hot plate, the root of the source of that heat will be the switch of the hot plate, and you want to find that root and then put it off. The source of your pressure might be the internet. You go on the internet and then you see that A has built a house, A is now working in a firm, A is now earning 7 figures, A is now a big name on X, on Instagram, on TikTok. A has now made it. The root of the source of that will be to just put off your data. Once you put off your data, you are away, you can't see these things. And so when you do that, the next step will be to connect to something that will help you become better. So what I like to do is turn that water that has been boiling into a cup of coffee, into a cup of tea, and you consume it and you feel better. So when you feel that heat, when you feel that pressure, you pour it into something else that will help you feel better. So what I like to do personally is when I feel this pressure, I make videos like this. And if you're a creator, if you're creative, if you are a business person, what you would probably want to do is when you feel that kind of pressure and you disconnect from it, go and do the work that you are supposed to do. You don't complain, you don't murmur, you don't get agitated, you do the work and then you show up the next day. It's one of the few things that can help you handle pressure. When I say pressure, I know there are a lot of people facing it right now. So I'm being very, very intentional with my words when I say the pressure might be so much, but if you can remove yourself, find the root of the source of that pressure, switch it off, and then turn that hotness, that heat that has been put inside of you into doing the work, not complaining, not murmuring, into doing the work, and then showing up every day. That is massive. That is a way to turn pressure into progress, into profits. And then you see that you don't get the pressure, you don't get anxiety, you don't get the feeling of just taking your life. If you can do this often, you don't get the feeling of being left out, you don't get FOMO, you just show up every day. When the pressure gets too much, you remove yourself, you disconnect, you turn that heat into work, and
you show up. You just keep showing up. Alright, so
if there's any way you have faced pressure and overcome it, you can share in the comment section. Or if there's any way you have battled with pressure and you are still battling with it even after applying certain things I said in this video, you can just leave it in the comment section, and someone out there might be able to relate and then offer solutions that has helped him or her to overcome this challenge. Thank you.